Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's market wrap-up for Wednesday, March 12th, 2008. I'm Joe Kinahan, Chief Derivative Strategist for Thinkorswim. I thought we'd start out today with a little tribute to Elliot Spitzer. Why not? Everybody else is taking a shot. Let's do it here. Little Elvin Bishop for you older folks out there, back to the 70s with this one. Anyway, let's be a little more serious. About the market today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average down 46.5 points today. We saw a bit of a sell-off on the day. Particularly, the Dow, it doesn't look actually very bad. What does look bad is if you look at the S&P 500 future, which we always talk about day in, day out, because again, we're believers that it's the biggest indicator of what's really happening in the market. And we see that down 15 points today, a much more significant move. The Dow again down 46, 12 advancers, 18 decliners. GM, the big decliner today in the Dow, down 3%. And the big advancer on the day, Caterpillar. Caterpillar's been kind of a strong horse lately, up 3.5% on the day. But again, we look at the overall market, we see the S&P 500 is weak, down 15 points today, getting down near that 1300 area. So something to keep in mind. In conjunction with the S&P future, as always, we want to talk about the VIX. The VIX today closed at 27.25. The VIX kind of in a no man's land, as is the market a little bit. Are we going to be bullish? Are we going to be bearish? What's going to happen here? You have to keep in mind, we talked about this yesterday. We had futures rollover on Wednesday's close. Tomorrow, Thursday, when we start trading, we are trading on June futures as the front month. So as I mentioned earlier in this week, you can see some strange moves this week because of that. Today was a little bit wacky, back and forth, didn't know what we quite wanted to do. I think part of the sell-off today was due to the fact that we did have futures rollover. Retail sales tomorrow morning before the opening going to tell the tale, shall we see. We'll see how that number comes in. A lot of people think it's going to be weak. If it is weak, the stock sell-off, there could be, we could wipe out half this gain from Wednesday within the next, between today and Thursday, if that number is really weak. So again, we want to keep our eyes on that number before the opening. What we want to look at some other things overall, our sizzle index today comes out with SSPEW, Scripps Incorporated, as our sizzler of the day. This is a $42 stock. If we look at the June 40 puts, we see 1,000 of those trade today. This is very high volume for this particular stock, one you might want to keep your eyes on for the next few days. All right, the market overall, again, we don't want to fool around and fall in love with it after yesterday, and I think that's what might have happened to some people, although most of the rally yesterday seems to have been, the consensus is it was due to short covering on the close. We have to keep our eyes on these levels right here. Many think we're going to go back down and test this 1240 low on the S&P 500 future. And, of course, there's that other school that's saying we're going to have a big rally over the next few days. Heading into expiration, I've always been of the belief that we tend to drift to the upside. So we'll see. Tomorrow really starts us heading in towards expiration. Those last 7 days, always really key. All right, I'm Joe Kinahan, Chief Derivative Strategist for Thinkorswim. As always, thanks for joining us. Good health, good trading, and we'll see you tomorrow after the close. Thank you very much.